Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Money with Friends. Every week, every Wednesday, I get the privilege to come to you. I always say it doesn't matter if you're at home, at work, or in your car. It's a privilege for me to be able to come to you to share really important concepts about money, life, and everything else. You know, they say money is what money does, and I believe that. Money is also travel. But travel, though, I believe, is what more than money. Why? Because you get to retain some great memories. If you buy something at the store, maybe a dinner, sometimes you forget about it. But if you've gone away and go travel someplace, you'll never forget that experience. So we believe money is travel. Definitely tonight, we have an excellent show. And the topic is traveling on a budget matters. Why does it matter? Because we all know traveling can be expensive. But in order for us to avoiding traveling, we have to understand how money works and how we can budget ourselves so that we can take advantage of this great opportunity to explore the world and to go outside of the box, outside of our comfort zone. So tonight we have a great, I call them the dynamic duo, a great couple with us. You know, several weeks ago, we had a show about travel matters. And we had, the wife, Vivian, wanted to be here, but she had conflict with her schedule. And tonight she's here. They are here to share some great information about how you too can travel to 25 European cities in a month on a budget. So without further ado, I would like to welcome my guests, my friends. They are people that I've known for many years. So I'm going to give them an opportunity to say hello, introduce themselves, and then we're going to dive into how do you get to travel to 25 European cities on a budget and beyond. Welcome, Vivian and Mario. Vivian, you can go first.
Hi, thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you so much to your friends as well who's watching the show. It's a privilege for us to be here. For me, I watch you all the time.
Yes.
I'm very happy to be here. A few weeks ago, during your show on Traveling Matters, I told you after the show that I learned so much. Everything they said, I would have said because they were great. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. As I said, we've known each other for many, many moons. We grew up in the same neighborhood, and your brother is married to one of my beautiful sisters. So we are practically family. So thank you so much. And I've known your husband, Mario, for a long time. You guys been married for what, 100 years now?
we don't want people to know our age, so we won't say.
Exactly. But Mario, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Mario, and I'm with Vivian here, and we're here. And first of all, thanks for having us, and we'll be glad to share our experiences or adventures that we experience in Europe, as you mentioned. Visiting all these countries, and we're here to share.
Yeah, thank you for coming to share. Of course, we're on Facebook together, social media. And one day I was scrolling through my page and I was like, wait a second, where in the world is Mario and Vivian? Because you guys were in Europe, in Poland, in different parts of Europe. And I was like, oh, I didn't know they won the Mass Million. And then I picked up the phone and I called you and you're like, no, Gabrielle, it's not the Mass Million. It's all about budgeting and it's all about being on a budget. And you wanted to share that with me. And I was like, you know what? I don't hold on to good news. I like to share with my friends, my community here at Let's Talk Money with Friends. So that's why I'm here to share with you tonight, because you two can do what they've done. I believe you can. So without further ado, and before we dive into the budgeting part, I would like to know, okay, like I said, we grew up in the same neighborhood. I wanted to know, tell us a story. How did you get started or got interested in traveling?
Well, I don't know about Mario, but for me, it started early on, as a teenager. You know how you're kind of young, but people my age would know. As a teenager, we had that thing called Roma. We used to get abonnement, people dropped them for us and we read a lot of Roma. And those novels, those romantic novels, they're the one who kind of like pushed me, because they used to be in Paris and telling people about Le Louvre, going on dates by Eiffel Tower to Eiffel. So since then, I wanted to go to Paris. At least I wanted to go to. I couldn't wait to go to Paris when I grew up.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's how it started.
Yeah, not only it's romantic, but also give you the vision. Last week we talked about vision matters, an opportunity to actually live. You lived outside of the box and then you wanted to experience it for real. So what about you, Mario? What
Well,
made you interested?
for me, it's kind of a little bit different. I will remember, I mean, as early as my younger years, I had probably three dreams in life.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to be independent, work independently, um, completed my education,
Mm-hmm.
at least to a master's degree, which I've done. Being
Correct.
independent, I've done it. I wanted also to be a diplomat, but I leave that, because I realize I'm too um, like a direct person. I cannot be doing diplomacy. And
Yeah.
the other thing that I always wanted to do in my life is travel.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
blessed and glad that I'm able to basically able to do all this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I said to folks all the time that when we were in Haiti, where I was born, that my mother used to host international ministers. My parents, the house, we used to host. And I remember meeting people from other countries, and I wanted to learn more about them. So the curiosity about other cultures and other people and the food and the language, I wanted to learn. And then as I, going to school, you learn about different countries. At first, I wanted to be a travel agent because I would travel. And then I realized, well, if you have money, if you go for your master's and make money, you'll be able to travel. But then again, you don't have to have had all that to be able to travel. So that's why today we want to talk about the budget. So tell me, we know travel is not inexpensive. How do you travel on a budget? And how have you been able to travel to 10 European cities recently? That was just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, do tell.
Well,
Go
well,
ahead.
I mean, the first thing I will tell everybody who wants to travel, you have to have a plan. Basically, let's say we right now in 2022, maybe you didn't have a plan or didn't know where to go, and you probably want to do it next year. You have to kind of like a game plan.
Correct.
You're going to start saving because the budget is one thing, but the plan to get to the budget is important. Where you're going to get the money.
Correct.
And there are a lot of things that you could do. Savings. You could set up a special account just for that. I know in the past certain corporations used to offer, I don't know if it's the same, like some type of vacation club you could join. There are a lot of other things. And one of the things that I stress a lot, it's you look at yourself, your own financing, your own finances and your expenses, and basically kind of like, eliminate your wants and stay on your needs. I mean, if you want to save, that's one of the way you're going to do it. Don't kind of like, I mean, there is nothing wrong going to the mall, but not like every weekend or to fancy restaurants. So you start, with revising your expenses, and that way you could see where the saving will come and fit your plan in the budget.
Correct. The budget is very important because once you have the budget and you travel overseas and you have $1,000 to spend for that week vacation, and then you go to the first fancy restaurant, you make the exchange, especially in Europe. The exchange is like so different. I believe years ago it was like $80 for 80 euro for every $100.
Yeah.
So after one fancy restaurant, you down to $900. So do you suggest, Vivienne, that folks eat maybe at the hotel or wherever they are? If they are at Airbnb, they should buy breakfast or things like, maybe eat with the locals instead of the fancy tourist areas. What do you suggest?
Yeah, you said it well, Gabrielle. And once you've done what Mario has said about the planning and the cutting expenses to set up that budget, And then you decide where you're gonna go. Are you gonna go small? You're gonna start small. We've done that so many times where we didn't have enough money to go far. We live in Florida, so we can drive to the Keys. We just need money for gas and things like that. So, but if you decide you're gonna go somewhere where you have to fly, absolutely, you said it, Gabrielle. Don't go out and eat in those touristy places. Just go with the locals, as you mentioned, and and travel light. Don't pay for check luggage. You make sure you have cabin luggage, where you don't have to, go with those airlines who don't charge you for carry on. And just be smart about if the hotels offers breakfast, make sure you eat breakfast and grab a couple apples on your way out. Grab some bananas. They don't mind. It's for you. Don't put them on your backpack as you go out to do sightseeing. That would be your snack. You don't have to eat in the middle of the day, and you can be filled and wait for dinner to eat at a local restaurant or there are some places with great street food. We ate so many maibukane on the street in Istanbul. We eat maibukane a lot, and grilled chestnut on the street for cheap, for pennies, and that it keeps you filled.
Yeah, you say maibukane. That used to be one of my favorites in Haiti. So it's corn baked, or roasted over fire. And you get to eat that. Yeah, I've been to. I went to China for school, and I saw that everywhere. And I was like, wow, this is Haiti, right? The world is flat. The world, we all the same. That's why traveling really, I said earlier that traveling is what more than money, because it really expand your horizons. But one of the things that you get to do, of course, you mentioned it, is the sightseeing. Do you need to budget for that? Because the worst thing you can do is go overseas and not go see some of the touristic, sites, the sites that you probably read about, at home.
Yeah.
While doing your research. The Louvre. I know the Louvre is not cheap to get in, right?
you need to budget for everything, and I can give you. We always want to share our experiences, and sometimes we kind of like decide where to go or which sightseeing, and based on our budget. Let's say if I decide I'm not paying more than $10 or 12 euros to see something, or I'll go to that venue, enjoy the outside, take a couple pictures, and I don't need to see inside. So, if it's too expensive, I could give you a real life experience. We went somewhere in Barcelona, and we thought it was going to be inexpensive, and it was like 50 euros per person. And I said, no, when we went there, and it was a park, going inside, took a couple pictures, and go on our way.
It's good.
Yes, and many museums are free. You just have to do your homework. A lot of them are free.
Wow.
To go in. Some of them are free. Some of them are like $1 something or €1 something, or whatever the currency there, but worth €1 something. So, or $2, $2 US. So you just have to do your homework to know what's important. What type of museum is important to me as a traveler, that I know how to budget, because everything is on the internet. If I want to go to the Louvre in Paris, it will tell you where, if you want to go deep and visit the whole museum, this is how much it's going to cost. And then you budget for it. It all depends on you. It's about you.
Yeah, it's about you, definitely. And, I always look up, because there's a plan. When you are planning and you budgeting, it's always great to talk to people who've been there. I'm interested in going to Paris, let me know, what should I look to, what should I do? What should I plan for, and all that stuff, because it'll really help you get an idea as to how much you're gonna need and how much fun you can have, because someone who's done it before. That's why I have this beautiful couple that I've been known for. I call them the dynamic duo, because they've been together for many, many moons, and I really appreciate them as a couple. And I always feel like, we can learn from one another and from each other. So that's great. So we know that you've eaten, you've seen. What about where do you stay? We talked about like, oh my gosh, because I was saying, Vivian, are you guys staying at hotels? Because I know hotels overseas, it can be very expensive. So where were you staying when you traveled to 25 different cities?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question, Gabrielle. Um, so again, it's all about planning, and Mario can add a couple things if I miss anything. But really, it's about planning. He always let me handle the hotel planning.
Smart guy, smart guy.
So, for us, we are mature couple. I don't want to say older. We are mature couple. So I can't stay in a hostel. A hostel for a young person like yourself, Gabrielle, it might, single or young.
Yeah.
It might be okay to go and share a hostel with some other friends. And we went to a hostel in Madrid, but it was a private room with a private bathroom.
Okay.
So there are those as well. So I use a lot of those internet websites, kind of like where I have one. I'm not going to say the name. They didn't pay me, so I have one I use that I collect free nights. So if I know I'm going to Barcelona and Barcelona is expensive, so I can just reserve that free night
Mhm.
and say, okay, I'm going to use that in Barcelona because they're too pricey. I'm not going to
Yeah.
pay, but
Correct.
I'm not going to use it in Istanbul where I can get a hotel for like $40 or
Correct.
$50. I'm going to use it in Barcelona where hotels are more, they're more in the like $100 and more. So yeah, so that's what I do. So we combine Airbnb. So I do research. Is it going to be cheaper to go to a hotel, or an Airbnb? So
Yeah.
we combine all of them.
Again, planning is everything. And so this is low production. I'll show it here. I know we had mentioned we would love to show some pictures. Were you able to set it up? Some pictures for us. I know I went online to check your video because you have a website. Actually not a website, what you call the YouTube channel.
YouTube channel.
And it's called Traveling.
Travel the world en Creole.
Travel the world on Creole, and it's excellent YouTube channel. I saw your first trip one of the first trips that you have up. It's from Poland, right? Poland, Portugal.
Porto and Lisbon in Portugal.
Okay, so Portugal. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience there, and why would someone like me be interested in going to Portugal? Give me one great story. So while I try to perhaps share some of that. Again, Gabrielle is high tech, but not that high tech. Okay, I'm gonna try. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about your story there.
Well, Portugal right now is kind of the new flavor in terms of tourist attraction. Most people, I think, I don't want to use a incorrect statistic, but I would say Portugal is right now classified among like top 5 European destination for tourism, especially from people in America. And there is a lot of American, going to live in Portugal. It's kind of like, Portugal is really hot right now. But put this aside, it's a beautiful place. I enjoy the food, the culture, the weather. And one thing I would say, generally, in Portugal as well, in many European countries, those people are very nice, helpful. You feel really at ease when you're there. And
yeah, it's very welcoming.
it's very welcoming. So,
Mhm.
and the history part, the history.
Yeah, the history, it's very historic. And also I love places. We always try our best to choose places where traveling on a budget, we choose places that have great transportation. And Portugal is one of them. You can go everywhere and anywhere and everywhere in Portugal by using train, buses, tram. I mean, they are great, and then they're not expensive. So you don't have to rent. We don't rent cars when we go places, because we're always on a budget. So we don't rent cars. We always use public transportation, and Portugal is very excellent in terms of transportation.
Oh, really? So you don't rent cars, you use public transportation? Is it
Oh, yeah.
because the driving is different or it's just like less expensive
That's,
to,
yeah,
we are on a budget.
Yeah,
we are on the budget.
expensive sometimes, and
It's
a
more
lot,
fun.
a
It's
lot
more
of
fun.
it's more fun to walk, to go places, and not sometimes, in many of those countries, finding a parking, like, if you're going to be out like 2, 3, 4 hours, you have to also to pay for parking, so
Yeah.
it adds up to your budget. So we try
Yeah.
to be smart and sensible about, our expenses, so, and
Yeah.
have more fun.
Yeah, that's good. So Mario, we were talking the other day and you said that, you know what, I've had friends who've said to me, Mario, how have you been able to, of course, we talked about the fact that you started loving and wanted to travel. How have you been able to make that decision to travel overseas? I'm a little afraid. I don't know how to venture out. How do you pick a destination? What would you say to those people who are just like your friends who are watching and saying like, we know what? Traveling is not for me. Actually, I was talking to someone that I was shocked. He's like, no, I don't want to go anywhere outside of the United States. I'm too afraid. How do you help them overcome that fear?
Oh, I've heard that many times, and I have friends as well, even family members who probably thinks, they don't need to go anywhere else. But it's that their choice. Personally, I don't disagree with them because we all we are very different people. Travel could be in my blood and not for somebody else. But where do you start? First thing, you have to decide which area is your interest, which country you I don't know. For me, I always have a kind of like, a little thing for almost the Spanish culture, anything that's kind of Latin. And most countries, most of the time, always, and I know if you probably ask me what's my favorite, most likely I will tell you a country that's kind of like Latin vibe. And
So what about the fear?
but the fear, someone said once, and you have to be courageous to travel.
Yeah, yeah.
But you have to go with that mindset that you're not the only one doing it.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're not the only one doing it. And when you go on vacation, it's like, it's a kind of an association. You meet so many people who are doing it the way you are doing it, or differently.
Remember when we were in Sitges in
Yes.
Spain? We went to Sitges in Spain, and then we had a late flight. And when we arrived, it was, we had to take a bus to the hotel. And by the time we got there, it was past midnight, right? And here we are in a new city, don't know anything, past midnight. So, I mean, I didn't even want to take that flight, but that was the only cheap one that we could find. So we were walking, trying to get Wi-Fi, and nobody had Wi-Fi around for us to connect. So we met a couple and we asked them, do you know where such and such hotel is? And then Gabrielle, I always pray a lot too when I travel.
Mhm.
And it's like God sent 2 angels. That couple, they stopped, they took the name of the hotel, put it on their phone, and then they made us take pictures of the route.
Yes.
Page by page, we take the route. You turn there, page by until we get to the hotel. And then it was like a 5-minute walk. We were close, but we didn't know.
Right.
So things like that, you always have that anxiety. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be in that city. We all have that fear. But just know that, like Mario said, a lot of people are doing the same thing, and then people are friendly out there. And then you especially when we went to like Portugal, Spain, we know those cities are pretty safe. Because we research about safety as well when we go somewhere.
Correct.
And if you are Christians, you pray.
Yeah.
And I always pray.
Yeah, I like the fact that you said that, you said that to have faith and to believe, because I had one quick experience, someone who came to me, these 2 young girls that I hosted, I hosted them for one summer. I don't remember which summer it was, but the second they landed at the airport, they got into my car, and the very first thing they said was, wow, we're gonna have fun. And because they declared it, they proclaim it, and they claim it, guess what? My job was to make sure that they had fun. And I went above and beyond. because I was like amazing. Like others would come in and they would be afraid. Oh my gosh, you know. And then these girls were like, they were from France. They were so excited. They were gonna have fun. And at the end of the 2-3 weeks, I think they were here. They left and they were hugging the house. And they said, "House, we're gonna miss you," because I made sure that they had fun. So you have to claim it.
Yeah.
So I believe that when it's time for you to go overseas or go experience a new culture or be in a different city, you have to say, this is going to be a great opportunity for me to meet new people. This is a great opportunity for me to make new friends. And this is going to be an awesome opportunity for me to learn something new. You decide. Just
Yeah.
making the decision to create a budget, you have to budget your own spirit and say,
Yes.
Spirit, it's going to happen. And that's me. So going back again to something you said about, like, you know, you have to research the city though. You know, like for people who are single, you know, there are many singles out there who would love to travel, but they're afraid because they think, you know, I don't have a companion. Would you suggest folks, you know, to think about group traveling, to join a club, doing something so that you can meet like-minded people?
Yeah.
For you. While you're saying that, let me try to see if I can share.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say it's a great idea, especially like there are a lot of groups like in Instagram and different places where you can join a group.
Shall we?
Okay, you're gonna skip the ads there, skip ads, and then I think you're good.
Why were you here?
No, that's
skip ad. You have to skip ad.
Oh, skip. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. Why the ad? I guess you're not paying for the channel, so they're charging you.
So this.
Why were you here? What was this?
It's a lot of places. We were in Prague, in Greece, Santorini, Greece. So this is different pictures of different places we've been to.
Yeah.
For the introduction here.
Hi,
yeah.
This is Vivian. How are you?
So you.
We enjoy traveling, so we decided to put our adventure on the YouTube channel, and the channel's name is Travel the World of Creole. It's just to motivate you, encourage you, those of you who would like to travel but don't know where to start. So we plan on doing some videos on how to explore the world on a smart and sensible budget.
That's awesome.
As you know, in the last couple of years, COVID has affected every one of us. So now, with many countries easing up on restrictions, we are resuming our favorite activity, which is traveling.
Okay, I'm gonna try to skip. I'm gonna try to skip.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so of course we are Haitian, so we speak multiple languages. Lucky us, right? So I'm trying to see if I could okay. Is that you?
Nope.
No.
That's a commercial. Skip.
And it's-
In the summer of 2021, I traveled to Lisbon.
That's not us.
Okay, so I'll skip this because stop sharing.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you see, I'm getting very hot here because again, this is not high production. We believe we have the vision that someday it could be high production, because I'm doing this show because I really enjoy sharing what I learned, you know, the information that I have with an audience. And I know that today I was speaking to one of my friends. She said, you know, I love to watch the show because every week I get to learn something new. And so not only am I giving, but also to whom much is given, much is required. I'm getting from this beautiful couple here who've traveled, you know, the world. And I know that experience is priceless, because we know the best education is lived experience. So how has traveling changed your perspective about the world that we live in? I know you've shared some of that, but give me some specific examples on how you've changed because of your travels.
Yeah. I think Mario might want to say something, but for me, I think it just, you see people differently. Like you have more respect. You see the beauty in everyone, every culture.
Correct.
Because, you know, as you know, Gabrielle, I travel for work as well. You know, I travel in Africa for work as well. And, you know, you see the beauty in
Yeah.
each of these countries, and you respect them, and you have a new, nothing. It's like you're not. You never put people in a box. Like I stopped putting people. You know how you always when you're talking like before for me, when I didn't really read a lot about people and know about different cultures, I used to like maybe put people in a box. But once you start traveling and know different people, different cultures, it's like you just see the beauty, and you learn so much from others. It's
Correct.
like I learned so much. It's Albert Einstein who said, once you stop learning, you start dying.
Correct.
And yeah, and to me, just to learn, I like to listen whenever I travel and I meet a local, or I work with a national from a country. I love to listen. It's like I don't know if you have that experience when in Haiti when you were a little kid and chita beaucoup de grand-pa,
Correct.
pour grand-pa boy histoire. So
Correct.
this is like I like to do when I go. I just like to just listen to people. Their culture and their background just amaze me. And I think, to me, I'm forever changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just ask you, since we're running out of time, in terms of like, I know you say you like to listen. Have you made great friends? Because I remember you said something about traveling for work. My sister, your sister-in-law, had to travel overseas for work, and she's like, Gabrielle, do you want to come with me? I was like, yeah. So we ended up going there, and it was so funny. I think it was like the night before we left. We were there for 2 weeks, and the night before we left, she said we went out to eat. And as we were at the restaurant, being happy because we were just happy talking to the waiter. He actually invited us to church. Yeah, it was the night before we left because it was Saturday, and he invited us to church. He's like, for some reason, I can see that in you guys. And it was like 22 hours away flight. So it was another world, right? But he's like, I want to invite you all to church. So we went to church on Sunday. But in addition to him, we met this beautiful lady. She's on my Facebook now. And I hardly ever do that. I don't typically befriend, people that I meet as I travel because for personal reasons. But she came up to us and said, you know what? I was watching you all, and you guys are so happy, and you're so excited to be here. Now, this is a country where they don't have that many Black people. Nobody knew where Haiti was. Let me tell you, okay? So, and they're like, where are you from? Tell me about you. And she was very much interested in learning about us, just like we were interested in learning about the country. So tell me, have you made friends? Have you kept in contact with them? And, do you get to visit them now and pay less for a hotel?
Well, this new one, there's 3 occasions. We met a lady from Cameroon in Africa. We met these people in Beauvais. There's a little place in France called Beauvais that's an hour away from Paris. Yeah. We met a few Haitians there. And we met that lady in Barcelona also. So and we are on WhatsApp. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
But what I will say between the two of us, I'll be the one who mostly wants to engage people. I mean,
I know, Mario. I know.
I'm a curious person. If I go in some places, I'd like to know how people live, what they do, and how things are. I don't personally. I don't wait for them to engage me. I do that. If I'm in a restaurant, the waiter or the waitress who come to serve us, or I'll take an extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes from them, asking them, how's life around here? Are you happy? You remember that experience we had in Dubai? We met that I think she was from Philippines or somewhere. And basically, honestly, she gave me some great insights about Dubai that nobody else did. So engaging, talking to people, it's a great way. It's part of the traveling experience.
Yeah,
people are very nice, and I've said all the time, I wish I had the opportunity to invite the people that I've met in this country to my country, because Haiti to me is a great place to visit. It's an awesome place. Last time I was there was in 2018. I had an awesome experience because I too love to meet people, and even if they're from my own country, I want to know about them too, because we have a diverse community with people who have different experiences, and it's good to get to know about those people. So nou pale kreol, so nou vle di kon sa, pou moun ki haisyen kap tan de chosa c'est pou tout. You know, nous connaissons pile fois et sous son monde qui vient ici ou travaille ou bien famille ou occupé, c'est vraiment difficile. So nous pas prendre li, son privilège li pour travel pour ka ouais l'autre culture. So nous voulons encourager ou kounya ou gen gen ti moun ou paye l'école, ou paye private school, ou gen pile difficulté, but fait ça et coupe ça dit hein, et fait ti activité locale. Après l'offre fait activité locale ou capable faire li international. Et surtout sous gen ti moun réellement important si l'école a fait un programme pour yo de gon amis l'école la voit ti moun Argentina li dit Gabriel is it okay moi dit yes it's okay parce que je l'aime de ti moun maman me mettre dans en avion à 11 ans il dit non aller Porto Rico pour nous et nous te fait ça parce que le gon monde nous t'a pas le rencontrer so sous les familles qui dans Canada fait rencontrer famille ça pour sommaire pour une semaine sous les familles dans l'autre pays fait ça parce que li réellement build confidence. So that's one of the things we forgot to say that and I want to emphasize that before we hang up. Like when you travel it really builds your confidence so that you can become a better person as a person but also build better community. So again we want to emphasize that how important it is for families who have children to start encouraging them like my mother did, you know, when we were like 11, 10, she's like, okay, you can go to Puerto Rico to see your family for the summer. And we were there for 3 months, getting to know people. I remember taking the bus, going to Rio Pedras outside of San Juan by myself. And I was 12 years old to go shopping. So hot. And I was like, if I can do this, I can do anything. It's very important to start building confidence very early. So would you encourage that for those who are watching?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, traveling open your eyes to other cultures or other ways of people are living or doing things. And you know, if I want to go back a little bit to a discussion. I mean, a subject you guys were touching on, and like you know what traveling help you appreciate others the way they do. Even and I'm bringing an experience we did in Turkey. Even though I mean, people in Turkey they profess other faith different from us. But we visited some mosques and there was like it was during the Ramadan. And one thing I came away from, I looked at them in the way family is important. I mean, the family is important. You'll see them on the park going like on a Sunday, the whole family, that's what they have in dinner. And when you start talking to them, you know, for most Muslim and people in that region, you cannot dining or dining alone is not acceptable.
Yeah.
You gotta dine with the family. So if you have a child and you make them exposed to certain those things, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, and that's why again I said earlier, money is what money does, but travel is more important than money, and it's really more valuable than money because of what you just said. My uncle came here from Haiti to spend time with us. You probably know him, Uncle Jean, and he was watching TV and he saw how the dynamic in families. And he said, wow, it's very different. I want to go and implement that with my family. So he was able to become better, you know, because sometimes culturally you're still trying to struggle, but when you experience a different culture and different people, and that's why when I have kids who will come to me, I make sure that I sit down and have dinner with them. We have conversations. And then by the time they're leaving, they say, Gabrielle, we'll let you know if we become a Christian because I'm not preaching the gospel to them. I show them the gospel. Yeah. Because I am the gospel every day. So I'm very grateful for you. I'm very grateful for the topic, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to let everyone know that, yes, traveling can be expensive. You know, it's not inexpensive, but you can do it. And you can start dabbing into smaller things, you know, get your feet wet by going someplace local. It will make a difference, not only in your life, but in the lives of your children. It's very important that you open your horizon and see the world for what it is. It's a beautiful world, and you have to go and travel and see it. Yeah, and so traveling on a budget matters. Thank you so much to the beautiful couple, dynamic couple, Vivienne and Mario Fils-Aimé. Thank you so much. Please check their channel. It's YouTube. We just saw a little bit of it. Of course, Tech Gabrielle wasn't too good, but it's Travel the World en Creole. So it's in both English and Creole. They're a great couple. I want to follow people like you. because
Thank
you
you.
have done the investment to
Thank
go into
you.
my life. So thank you so much. The other day I posted something on Facebook. I said, you know what, if you're gonna take advice, better be from people who are praying, reading, and experiencing something new every day. And you all doing that. So you are my people that I want to follow online. So thank you so much for your time. This show is for you. Let's Talk Money with Friends is for you. Please tag, share, make a comment, and let people know that your friends know that we are here and we are here for you and for them. Thank you so much. Have a blessed night. Do not hang up, but I'll go offline for now.